Well, welcome to this channel. It's the United Matters channel. How are you guys and where are you watching us from? You go by the names of Rock and David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rock and David is my name and hope you guys are really having fun wherever you are, and continue to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Erik ten Hag has gone ahead to obviously name his starting 11 for the club of Manchester United. I know most of you have already gone ahead to obviously know what the lineup is like, because it has been there on Google for some time, and we're here to obviously bring you the latest news and information as far as everything is really concerned. Smash the like button, comment and share, and if you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Now, it's a Saturday, and Man United is really in a total charge to obviously create lots of memories and see to it that we get back to winning ways into the Premier League. For Erik ten Hag to obviously ease the pressure that he's on as a manager of Manchester United. And it looks like things are not really okay, but I know they really get okay, as most people really don't think so. But as it stands now, Manchester United is one of those that has gone ahead of it, put in a very big shift altogether, and Erik ten Hag has gone ahead obviously name the starting 11. Some huge changes that we really least expected, and I think it's like one or two changes from the starting 11 that went ahead obviously name in here onto this channel. When we go to the starting 11 for the club of Manchester United, you obviously see very well that it is Andre Onana, Delete, Matthias Delete, Martinez, Bruno Fernandes, who is the captain for the club of Manchester United, you know that very well, Rasmus Højlund, Rashford, Eriksson, Garnacho, Casemiro, Dalot, and John Evans. That is the starting 11 for the club of Manchester United. Then the substitutes include Ben Dair, Lindelof, Mazraoui, Jack Fletcher, Manuel Ugarte, Amadi Diallo, Anthony, Whitley, and Zexi. That is the bench for the club of Manchester United. When we go to the starting 11 for the side of Brentford, that has gone ahead obviously attack the side of Manchester United to obviously situate, obviously fail the plan or mission of Erik ten Hag of really getting in more and more and more and more and more and more points for the club of Manchester United are Flecken, there is Van de Beek, Aja, Pinnock, Collins, Nogard, Genlet, Damsgaard, Lewis Potter, Mbuemo, and Shedi. You get that is the starting 11 for the side of Brentford. The bench has Valdimarsson, Wissa, Carvalho, Me, Yarmolenko, Megma, Konak, Trevitt, Roselev. So that is the starting 11 at the bench of the side of Brentford that Erik ten Hag has gone ahead to name to come in through and obviously tussle it out with the side of Manchester United. And this game of football comes in at a time when Erik ten Hag is really having a lot of pressure onto his job, and it's like this should be the perfect springboard match for him to obviously get back to where he wants to be. That is it. If he doesn't really win a game like this, then he'll obviously lose a lot of trust in the people around him, and even a team like West Ham will be like, we can go to Old Trafford, we can really face Manchester United and obviously see to it that we fail them in any way possible. You understand? So this is the time where Erik ten Hag needs to obviously come and take his chances to see to it that everything really works on well. And today, Erik ten Hag has gone ahead to excite me by doing one thing, and I'm really going to be showing you it on the screen, and that is the system that Erik ten Hag has gone ahead to deploy to take on the side of Manchester, to take on the side of Brentford. And Andre Onana is in goal, and for that we have nothing like a question about it, because he's the best goalkeeper at Manchester United. And I think no goalkeeper has gone ahead to keep more clean sheets than him. I think he has gone ahead to keep, is it 4? I think he has gone ahead to keep 4 clean sheets. So I think he's really doing great. And there is a quote I saw that Erik ten Hag went ahead obviously put out in an Amber Gold interview before this game of football went ahead to start, when he was really giving this guy his flowers, and I was really impressed with what he went ahead to do about that. So Onana in goal, that's a given and that's a must. Then there comes in through another player known as Dallo being played as a right back. And if you've been following this channel, I've been really making this alarm for a very, very long time, because we all know one thing, that who is our best who is our best right back, and our best right back has always gonna have to be Dallo. And in this scenario where we are really lacking creativity, you know, from the midfield, I think we would love to obviously see to it that we have, or we open up one of our sides, and that side should be the right fullback, because we are not having Malacia, we are not having Luke Shaw, meaning that we should really hate one fullback really function, and Dallo is the guy. I like Mazurui. He has gone ahead, obviously have a very huge start at the club of Manchester United. He's good, but how much does he add to the game when we are really in the offensive play? And this is what you're really going to see today of Dallo. If you remember very well, when Dallo played into that position for like 15 minutes when you're playing against Southampton, he got himself an assist for that game of football that saw Man United obviously create or score 3 or put 3 past the side of Southampton. So for me, I'm really very impressed about what Erik ten Hag is going to have to do. Dallo on that side is really going to improve on our creativity. And even these other games that we're going to have to be playing, we've lacked creativity from both our fullbacks. You get Dallo on the left doesn't really impact the game a lot offensively like he does when he's being played on the right. And let's wait and see how this really happens. But on the left back is Lisandro Martinez, and I think it was the opening game when you're playing against, was it Fulham? You get, there is a game where the manager went ahead to play Lisandro Martinez as the left back. You know, I think it was not Fulham. There is a game where the manager tried him out onto the left back position and was slated, and I'm really worried today because he's really going to be facing Mbeumo and he might be really schooled. I think it was the game of Brighton, not so. I think it was the game of Brighton when he was really played. There is a game this season that Erik ten Hag played Lisandro Martinez as a left back, and he was really sent back to Argentina. So I'm really worried about that because I know how big this Mbeumo guy is really going to be and how threatening he has always going to have to be against the teams he's going to have to face off. Then we obviously have in a guy known as Matthias de Ligt, right-sided centre-back, and John Evans, left-sided centre-back. Remember, in the game they played against Aston Villa, they had some 45 minutes of playing together, and their partnership really had some huge communication. And you know to it well that each and every time you find yourself in a position of really putting in a very big shift altogether, a lot really happens to that central defense. And maybe let's give it a chance and see how it really pans out, because John Evans is the real deal. And he's the guy. So that is the back five for Erik ten Hag. And if at all you want to obviously watch our match preview, Evans was out, and I think we played Mazarawi. So one change is going to have to be made from our probable starting 11. But the double pivot has come in through as we anticipated it to be. It is Casemiro and Eriksen playing into that double pivot. Remember, in the season of Erik ten Hag, as he debuted to be the manager of Manchester United in 2022-2023, this is the double pivot that really gave him lots of fruits in the very many games that went ahead to win. And remember, at Old Trafford in the Premier, I think at Old Trafford in that entire season, we lost one game in the Premier League. That was against Brighton, and one game in the UEFA Europa League. You remember when he went ahead and obviously lost to Real Sociedad, when referee went ahead obviously give that scrappy penalty to the side of Real Sociedad. So this midfield is really very important in everything that Erik ten Hag is set to achieve, and we should all admit that nothing is really gonna really stop this midfield from obviously thriving, because Eriksen is really a peak form. Casemiro has been resting for the previous 2 weeks, and even in the previous games, he hasn't gone ahead to be getting what we call starting moments, as the manager hasn't gone ahead to obviously trust him to play into his games. Now, a chance has gone ahead to be given to him to prove himself, because Manuel Ugarte, obviously, he's recovering a little bit, and the manager doesn't want to obviously risk him a lot in a game like this, and maybe he might get in minutes later. The other player is Kobe Mainoo. He's also injured. So this is where Casemiro gets his chance. And I think he should prove himself and tell the manager that, please, I'm the player that you are not supposed to drop. And what he did as a senior player against Liverpool was really uncalled for. However much people said he really lost the game, he really lost the ball, and the midfield was not compact, I don't think that those are scenarios that Casemiro is supposed to be losing games or balls in. Let's be really very, very, very considerate. Bruno Fernandes, central attacking midfielder for the club of Manchester United. And when you look at that midfield, I think Bruno Fernandes is one of the big factors that is going to hit obviously come up and obviously not do justice to our attacks. Because Man United, as I've always told you, we get that ball very well from the goalkeeper to the back line to the double pivot of Eriksen and Casemiro, but the problem has always gone ahead to germinate, very well in that position where Bruno Fernandes is supposed to obviously release that ball to either Marcus Rashford or Garnacho. That's where things go wrong, and that's where I come out and really criticize this guy known as Bruno Fernandes to the fullest, because I don't really believe in his number 10. And if you've gone ahead, obviously watch me on this channel for the last 3 years, I've been here resounding that. I've echoed it 10 times because I know how a number 10 is supposed to behave. A number 10 is the one who really plays his fellow players into the game. That's the role of a number 10. Now, every time you come up and obviously not see your number 10 doing an Odegaard kind of game, a Maddison, a Jamal Musiala, Kevin De Bruyne kind of game, you just get to know that something is not really okay, and United is lacking quality in there for you in as far as really connecting this midfield to the attack. And Bruno Fernandes is supposed to be doing that, and you see most of the times that he's really so much Rashford oriented, and each and every time he gets the ball, he first thinks of Marcus Rashford. He rarely thinks on a player who is playing on the right. Yet for a number 10, you should obviously scan and see who is the best placed player, and you cannot tell me that Rashford is always the best placed player. I think United should obviously create what we call a trap and really do what we call holding that ball. And when we really go ahead and really hold that ball a little bit, when you hold that ball a little bit, that means we'll attract these players onto the ball and let Marcus Rashford have space, because the ball is a magnet, We'll make them forget that Marcus Rashford is on that line. Then we play him into space, and we know that he has a very good first touch. And Marcus Rashford, in positions where he really has lots of space, he's a very good finisher. So I believe that's what you're supposed to be doing. And Bruno today has to really do a lot and really show us that he has really gone ahead to learn how to really play better. Then Garnacho, right attacking midfield. I thought Amad Diallo could come into that position, but the manager has chosen to go in for Alejandro Garnacho. And I think that it is always a very good plan for me having Joshua Zirkzee and Amad Diallo on the bench sometimes, because these games, as they grow, these teams tend to obviously pack the bus, and you need players that are supposed to unpack the bus. And which are those players that can unpack the bus? It's Joshua Zirkzee and Amad Diallo coming on and obviously do the needful, because they are good at really acting in tight spaces. Marcus Rashford off the left, he's one of those players that has to prove himself, and I think if the season fails, I know Ineos will reconsider their decision of keeping him. They'll be like, Marcus Rashford has failed and he'd leave the club of Manchester United. Then Rasmus Højlund is leading the line. Obviously, he's the number 1 targets man for the club of Manchester United, and I believe he's really going to come up and obviously put in a very good show. And today, I have a feeling that he might even bang in a hat-trick, because when we're having Diallo onto that side, that means we're going to obviously increase creativity in here. And Eriksen in this midfield and Casemiro, these two are really creative brains in that midfield. They can release Højlund, they can release Garnacho or Rashford to really create chances for this guy. And for me, the most important change is that of Diego Dallo, because I know what it means, obviously, have him onto this side of the pitch. So I'm really anticipating a lot to obviously see to it that we play a lot, and a lot of productivity is really going to be coming in through on this side, because Dalot inverts in the midfield very, very well. We all know that. He inverts into that midfield very, very well, and no one can obviously combat him. So that means he can create some good space for a player known as Garnacho to obviously thrive. Even if it needs to go on the outside right of the pitch, he can obviously move that side and really create loads and loads and loads and loads of memories and magic. So that's what I'm really expecting from the side of Manchester United, and I think we're really going to be doing the needful. Then let's go to the side of Brentford. We are having Flecken obviously coming in through to play as the goalkeeper. Obviously, he's really going to be having a hard day. I tell you, it's really not going to be easy for him. And it will depend on how clinical we are going to be. If you are to win this game of football, we are supposed to be more and more clinical. Then Van de Beek, right back, is going to be facing Marcus Rashford. And I know Marcus Rashford can easily go past this guy, but he needs to obviously make a very easy decision. Play a pass and let this guy do the reciprocation with what we call a pass in space, where Marcus Rashford operates best. Aja, left back, is going to be facing Garnacho, Pinnacle, and Collins. These are two central defenders that are really going to be facing Rasmus Højlund, and I believe he's really going to come out and really torment them. You know, Nogard and Genelet, I know they are really good in the midfield, but I think Casemiro and Eriksen have enough experience to obviously come up and really create moments that will make them even forget that they've ever obviously come up here and really put in a required shift altogether. Damsgaard is played as a central attacking midfielder, you know, and the players you're supposed to obviously look at is Mbeumo. Mbeumo is a deadly guy, and he's really going to cause a lot of moment, and Lewis Potter and Shady. So when I look at this side, it's really very, very deadly, and they're having lots of Wisa. What does that mean? It means that we have to come up and obviously kill off this game immediately. That is it. We have to come up and really kill off this game immediately, because the moment we don't kill off this game immediately, we'll be like giving them chances. And one thing we should not really allow to happen at the club in this game is the side of Brentford getting ahead of us. You know, like they've gone ahead, obviously score an early goal. We should obviously be very, very, very observant, not to obviously concede in such moments. So that is it that we've gone ahead to obviously have, as we're supposed to break it down, but I'm really having some people in here. Chinedu is in here. Good afternoon, bro. We are back for this match. Week 9, let's go. All right, let's obviously see to it that we obviously see ourselves really winning this beautiful game of football. And I've gone ahead to see the people, the hierarchy. I've seen Omar Berada, Jason Wilcox. I've gone ahead to see Dan Ashworth, you know, Christopher Vevel. They're into the executive box, and I'm waiting to see whether Sir Alex Ferguson is here. Looks like he's missing in action, and it's like, if I've gonna be asked, why am I still here? Then I'm having Muima Isco. Hello, Mr. RD. United to smash Brentford to 0. All right, we wait and see how that pans out. You know, Muima Isco is like, hello, RD. United to smash Brentford 2-0. All right, it will be good if at all we keep a clean sheet. Then Morris, United 2, Brentford 1. All right, Ebong Alex, I think today is our win. All right, thank you. Old Port Charles, I think Mazzaro we can play on the left than Lisandro Martinez. I don't still trust Rashford and Garnacho in supporting the defense. This is what they did best when they're playing against Aston Villa. They tracked back very well, and I want to see whether they've gone ahead to obviously master that, obviously put it onto that level where we want them to be. So that is what you people are really saying. And I would also play Mazzaro onto the left, because I believe that he can really do his defensive work there and pass there very well. But on the right, he doesn't add on a lot when really going forward. You get? So I want to see whether Marcus Rashford is really going to track back like he did in the game of Aston Villa hugely. Then Daniel, I'm saying another 2-2 draw in today's game. All right. London Banda, good afternoon, Rokan David. The game was Fulham where Martinez struggled. Yeah, I think they played him on that side and went ahead to struggle really a lot into that beautiful game of football. So we have Wadamba Richard. I'm tired of Rashford and Fernandes. Those two are really the huge problem of this team, because if you had better players into those positions, United would have gone ahead to kill off very many games, I tell you. But because we've gone ahead to obviously not really have such players, of pure quality, then we've gone ahead to obviously affect ourselves negatively. Then London says we are going to beat Brentford by 3-1. All right, let's wait and see whether your predictions really come to pass. The players are on the field of play, and allow me end this poll and see what you guys have gone ahead to say about this side. 84% are really calling in for a Manchester United win altogether. That's what you guys have gone ahead to call in for. Then draw 10%, and a win of Brentford, it's 10%. Now, I want to see what Erik ten Hag has gone ahead to say about this beautiful game of football. All right, let me try to find some things that Ten Hag has gone ahead to say about this game, because I think he has gone ahead to obviously put in some quotes that I really want to obviously flaunt onto your screen in here. So where is the United stand? All right, they hugely quote what the manager is going to say in here. Sir Alex Ferguson at Old Trafford today. Sources are stressing his absence has been known about for a long time due to a prior engagement with BBC. All right, he's nowhere to be seen today. And Erik ten Hag hasn't gone ahead to obviously speak or say anything to the media. So we are here to wait and see how that pans out. But Rokan David is my name. We are out for now, and we're really going to be returning when this game of football is really done and dusted. I'm out. Bye-bye, and see you when you